Hello there everyone, this is Noah from Knights of 67, here with a second video for you all today, and it's not actually going to be what I originally intended it to be. What I originally intended today's second video to be was going through the bosses in the Dungeon Journal in the preview to Siege of Orgrimmar raid, but I've come across some interesting new changes to the zones of both Orgrimmar and the Drenoshar blockade. So I will be going over the blockade changes first, and then we'll make our way into Orgrimmar. So here we go. Alright, so the first change I've noticed is General Nazgrim wandering around like this and giving orders to these people, which you can actually attack. But obviously I'm not going to do that because that wouldn't be very smart. But you can attack them. You can attack all these soldiers over here, actually. But you can't attack General Nazgrim. Now, General Nazgrim is going to be a boss in Siege of Orgrimmar, like we all expected. But that's just a little cool thing here. So all the soldiers are preparing like normal and everything. And so I mentioned Galakras like next time. And in case you weren't aware, this giant proto-drake right now is just called Dragon Maw Proto-Drake, but this is actually going to be Galakras in the Siege of Orgrimmar raid, except with armor on, and it's also going to be the mount you can get. But this right now is just the black Proto-Drake mount, just scaled up. So obviously they're going to retexture it and everything, but it does gonna, you know, I just completely lost all speech just then. Sorry about that. But it does look to be a pretty cool mount. Obviously, it's not going to be that big. I hope it is, but I doubt it. So now we're going to make our way down to the entrance of Orgrimmar, and there is a noticeable difference out in the front. So in the front of Orgrimmar, it takes everything a second to load today apparently. We see these lines of Kor'Kron soldiers, as well as this Kor'Kron overseer looking over these Kor'Kron grunts. So very, very interesting. So as they are preparing for the invasion, they, you know, so pretty self-explanatory, but pretty cool overall. And also, all Orgrimmar grunts in patch 5.4 are done. They are kaput. Instead, they are replaced with these Kor'Kron elite guards. These are pretty much the exact same guards that were guarding Thrall's place all the way up to Wrath of the Lich King and such. So very cool. And as you can see, there are a lot more of them. There are a lot more guards overall, actually. Now, as we make our way into the Valley of Strength, we can see that these guys right here from the bar are under arrest, I guess you could say. What they did, I don't know. Perhaps they spoke out against Garrosh. Perhaps the fact that they're just not orcs. Who really knows? There are cages around this Kor'Kron grunt. There are numerous cages throughout the city, indicating that during the raid we're going to have to rescue some prisoners, which was actually part of that one achievement that I showed off to you guys in my last video. So very cool. Now over here is the real noticeable difference. Now take a look at these two NPCs right here. Earthbreaker Harom and Wavebinder Cardris. Now this is part of the Kor'Kron Dark Shaman encounter for the Siege of Orgrimmar raid. These are the two NPCs you must fight, and so they have been added to Orgrimmar as well, just debating something, it would appear. Now take a look at that weapon on the back. That's awesome. Could that be a drop off of him? And even more so, look at the gear. Could that be the Shaman tier 16? I sure hope so, because it looks badass. I really hope so. So that could be a preview right there for all you shaman, and myself included. That could be our tier 16 right there. Looks incredible if it is. It actually does look similar to the PvP gear I'm wearing a little bit with that whole wolf look. But the shoulders look awesome. The helm looks awesome. And then I guess this one on this chick over here would be perhaps like a raid finder version, because that version on the orc there looks way cooler in my opinion, because it's like a darker color. But very, very cool indeed. Now, if we go over here, we can see this Kor'Kron Overseer training these Kor'Kron Grunts over here. So again, with the preparations for battle, very cool. Now, if we go into Grommash Hold, there is a noticeable difference. I'm not trying to do any ability. Now, take a look at this. Now, so many people are on Garrosh's throne because, as you can notice, he's not here anymore. And it's not hard to understand why. I mean, you know, if his city's going to be invaded, obviously he doesn't want to be right out here in the open. So, very, very cool. And people are role-playing, apparently, or something, just acting like idiots, being on Garrosh's throne. Very, very cool. And it appears, you know, the whole virtual realms thing has launched, because as you see with the asterisks in parentheses, that means people from the other servers are here as well. So even with areas like Orgrimmar and everything, they're going to be that much more crowded, which is actually awesome, because that's reminiscent of things like vanilla, which I really think Blizzard are trying to go back to their roots maybe a little bit more with something like that. So very, very cool. So that's pretty much the changes with Orgrimmar, but there's actually one more change. And I may have mentioned this in another video, I may not have, I'm not quite sure, but I figure I should go over it one more time if I have already. Now, alright, so look who is being held at gunpoint. It is none other than Gamon himself. Now, not to fret, he will survive this little bind that he is in, because as we all know, with the Gamon will save us achievement that I mentioned in my last video, he will be a part of the Siege of Orgrimmar raid, or more specifically the General Nazgrim fight. Now, if he's going to be involved beyond that or before that in the raid, I don't know, but I hope so. More Gamon the better, right? Gamon for War Chief 2013, yeah. But anyway, yeah. So that's another thing, and 2 demolishers right here as well. So that's pretty much all the changes to Orgrimmar. Just more Kor'Kron soldiers and all that overall. And I'm really excited for the Siege of Orgrimmar raid. Everything seems to be going in the right direction, and I give Blizzard credit for you know, getting the hype up there. I'm definitely very, very excited. So I hope you guys are too, and I also hope that you enjoyed this video. So this is me, Noah, from Knights of 67, and I'll see you guys next time.